Hey everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Life Lessons. You know, there's nothing that I love more than a good camping trip. And sometimes I like to go light when I do that, where it's just me, whatever I can fit in my pack, and the great outdoors. But there's certain equipment you must have for when night falls, and one of those things is light. And that's why I love bringing along these inflatable solar lamps. If you look on top, it has what's called a solar cell. And it's really just two ingredients to make solar cells: silicon, aluminum, and together they make electricity. Enough light for me to light up my tent at night, and if I use it all one night, I can just recharge it with the sun's energy day after day. Quite amazing, really. We're gonna explore solar energy in this episode, and we're gonna go from the smallest to the biggest. So I'm gonna pack these down, toss them in my pack, and take you on a journey to learn more about solar power. Let's go. Now that you know what a single solar cell can do, here we have solar cells working together like building blocks to make up a solar panel. And the larger the area is of a solar panel, the more electricity it can generate. And I have to admit, on some of those outdoor adventures, we like to bring along the gadgets too. Here, the panels are charging up a battery that allows us to bring a tablet, a speaker, projector for watching movies. Can't forget the phone, and those string lights too to light up the night. So we're ready for a good time. I've got to tell you, everything I've learned so far has got me pretty amped up. What we do know is that the more solar panels we have working together, the more power they can create, which means more possibilities. And I feel like there's so much more to learn out there. I think it's time we head out into the community and see what else we can find. Really? You want to come along too? All right, I guess you can come, but you have to wear your seatbelt. Our first stop, Sun Prairie. I figured we can't go wrong with a name like that. We stopped by Royal Oaks Elementary, whose 18-panel system was designed with purpose in mind. Pole-mounted to be visible and accessible to all students while outside. Size-specific to offset the electricity used by every computer inside the entire building. Take a walk inside and you'll see the school's STEM Center, where students can learn about cost and energy savings and weather patterns in real time.
Holy moly, and what day was the cloudiest?
The project was made possible entirely by donations. Capturing the sun must be pretty contagious in this district, as both of the newly built elementary schools have installed rooftop systems on their sites as well. Always hungry to find something a little bigger, we ventured on down the road a few blocks to the Sun Prairie West Side Community Building, home to some of Sun Prairie's finest firefighters and EMS workers. Ha, there's Mr. Sun again, out for a ride. Time to scuttle up to another rooftop where we met Chad.
So this is just some of our PV system here, the solar panels. The rest of the solar panels are up over the garage bay and then up over the other side in the sleeping quarters and training area.
It was good to get up here on a sunny day and see this many hard-working solar panels. It was just afternoon and they had already generated enough electricity to cover the entire building's needs. Anything they would make for the rest of the day would be given to other community buildings for free. And meanwhile, over on the east side, City Hall's rooftop is just as hard at work. And it looks like all this has Chief Garrison feeling pretty energized. So as we headed out of town, we decided to just simply look up. We saw all sorts of rooftop PV systems. Different shapes, different sizes, some that you could barely even tell were there. They were on garages. We even saw one on a barn. I had a chance to stop and talk to the owners of this home. The installation on their rooftop was large enough that it was making more electricity than their household could use. And any of that extra electricity being made, the power company had to pay them money for. This is called spinning your meter backwards. Hold on a second. Did I hear that right? So you're telling me it's possible for people to make money by having these things on their roof? Unbelievable. Next, just a few miles down the road, the city of Madison. We first went over to the Alliant Energy headquarters. The grounds surrounding the building were kind of like a futuristic research site. The goal for them here is to figure out as many new and efficient ways to collect energy as they possibly can, and then deliver that to their customers. I swung around the back of the building and discovered several of these solar-powered electric vehicle charging stations. It became easy to imagine more parking lots looking like this in the not-so-distant future. At one point, I looked up and noticed this solar car awning, and then something suddenly dawned on me. Its job is to collect as much sun as it possibly can on the top, while at the exact same time, create as much shade as it possibly can for the cars underneath it. Mind blown. That was great. So, my next plan was to take you to Madison Area Technical College because it is home to the largest rooftop solar installation in the entire state. But because of COVID, the building's pretty much closed down and we can't get up there. So we'll do the next best thing. I'm gonna take some notes and go on a virtual field trip. See what I can learn. You should come along. But wait a second, before we do that, I can't help but wonder, is this the first case ever of a person going on a virtual field trip inside of a virtual field trip? If so, you gotta admit, that's pretty epic.
There's over 5,700 panels on the roof.
Almost 8 acres of roof.
It covers about a dozen different roof sections, orientations, and elevations. We've been a partner with MG&E from day one on this project.
The scale really grabs me as being special.
They can take this part of the system apart, disassemble it, inspect it.
It's access to be able to work on it and learn about it in real time.
Oh, so the whole rooftop's like one big classroom for people who want to go into the
Not
profession.
just for teaching students, but for teaching the general community as well.
I'm sorry, I just get so happy.
And just about a mile down the road from the college is Madison Airport. The airfield's newly installed ground solar installation is so much bigger than anything we've seen yet. I feel like the best way to take it all in is with a nice relaxing drive. seems like a great use of space, being that airfields are places where we're not really authorized to do much of anything else in, anyhow. Very cool, but there's just one stop left. Badger Hollow Solar Farm. It is still under construction, and it's a couple counties over, but I feel like it's worth going to check out. It is something so much bigger than anything we've seen yet. So let's hop in the car and go give it a look. Grab my keys. Oh, and for something this big, I think I'm gonna need my big shades. We most definitely live on an incredible planet, but it's a planet whose population is growing. And with that growth comes problems that we've created, like air pollution. And the issues from it only seem to be on the rise. But that doesn't mean we can't turn the page with things like renewable energy, wind, solar, and other new innovations. They can give our kids a brighter future and cleaner air, a future worth holding on to. Well, I guess I'm here now, and that pretty much wraps up my journey. It's hard to believe that something so small led me to so many big discoveries. So what is it that you're curious about? Whatever it is, I encourage you to get out there and explore it. Who knows what big things you'll find. I guess I'll see you all next time.